Do you hear voices? No, not real voices. Just that conversation you engage in inside your head. That negative voice that says, I'm not good enough. My poems are really not that good. No one will want to hear them, let alone buy them, if you put it in a book. I think most people do. If you are like me, this could be the voice that you may have been listening to since early childhood. This is the voice of shame. Have you ever heard of mirror neurons? There is actually a part of the brain that seeks to imitate and seek approval from others. It starts with the infant's desire to imitate and then find approval from mother. When mother smiles and coos, baby knows it has pleased her. It experiences joy from the approval, but shame from disapproval, or when approval is withheld. This sense of shame, when we feel that our actions will not be approved by others, limits our ability to confidently express ourselves in public. If this feeling grows, we eventually become our own worst enemy. We feel we will never be able to live up to our own expectations, which, if we let it control our life, can limit who we are and what we want to be. The good news is we can switch it off and turn on another voice, a gentler, kinder voice, the voice of love from ourself for ourself. This is the voice of the higher self, our soul voice, our spirit voice. When we sit down to write poetry, it is usually one of these voices that wants to be heard. One is the voice of the wounded inner child, the wounded ego that wants to tell the world about all the pain it is experiencing, or all that is wrong with the world in which we live. It is the voice of my favorite poet, T.S. Eliot, in The Wasteland, the voice of J.D. Salinger in Catcher in the Rye. It is the voice of hopelessness and helplessness. The other voice is the voice of our higher self that sees light instead of darkness, hope instead of hopelessness, and power instead of helplessness. How we choose to think and write is simply a matter of choice. We have to choose which voice we will listen to. I believe that both voices need to be heard in the same book of poems, and perhaps even in the same poem. Together, these two voices form the basis of transformational poetry. We first offer the stage to the voice of the wounded ego to describe in brutal detail the sources of anger, fear, and shame. Then, like in a traditional sonnet, we make a dramatic turn and bring out the voice of hope, belief, and power. The power of transformational poetry can be therapeutic. We allow our fears and sources of shame to flow onto the page in living color, so we can see them and recognize them for what they are. And then we counter them with positive thoughts from our higher self and begin to soothe the child within. In the process, we change the way we view our world, first on paper and then in our mind. We build new neural pathways connecting past fear, anger, and shame to feelings of love, gratitude, and joy. In the process, we alter our schemas and we change the way we think. We change ourselves, and then we offer our thoughts and actions to change our own corner of our world. So, welcome aboard. I invite you to join one of my workshops in transformational poetry. We will explore the wounded child within, the voice of the wounded ego, and the voice of the higher self, the voice of our eternal spirit. And then we write and share and write again. In the final stage, we polish our craft and then perhaps publish. But our purpose is not only to improve our craft, but to take a step towards self-actualization by reaching our full potential as writers and as powerful human souls. So, please join me by registering for a workshop listed below.